Opening questions for Coach?
What went wrong tonight?
Pardon?
What went wrong tonight? What? Anything?
All kinds of stuff went wrong, but can you ask me a more specific question?
Like offensively?
Well, you know, we had to kill off a 5-minute power play in the first period, and we did a pretty good job of that. Matt Morris did a very nice job on that, and then we righted the ship in the second, and you know, we made a mistake running out of position late in the third period, and at that point it's 2-0, and we dug ourselves a big hole. You know, at the end of the day, it was a pretty even game, 5-on-5. You know, but we made a couple of mistakes that wound up in the back of the net, and we didn't capitalize on our chances.
What do you think Union did so well defensively to keep most of your shots from the perimeter?
Well, they didn't keep all the shots from the perimeter. We took it to the net 4 or 5 times and got inside of them and didn't score. You know, but you know, they're a veteran team and they play well defensively and they have some patience. You know what I mean? They let the game come to them. Our team in the third period, you know, we run out of position and give them a 2-on-1, and you know, that's just a lack of patience. That was a nothing play. And if it stays 1-0, you know, who knows what happens.
Red, were you happy with the energy from your office?
It was better than it was. It was better than it was in Alaska, so I suspect that that's positive. But it's nowhere near enough to win at this level. We had certain players in the lineup that didn't compete at the forward position. You know, our defensemen made their share of mistakes, but they worked like dogs, and most of our forwards did, but there were a couple of guys that, you know, didn't compete hard enough, turned pucks over, lost battles for pucks, and we can't have that here at the University of Maine.
What do you think you need to work on with your power play specifically?
Well, power play generated a couple of chances, and we missed the net on some tips and everything else. You know, it was a heck of a lot better than it was in Alaska. It looked like we had a chance to score tonight. You know, the second one wasn't as good as the first, but the first power play was pretty decent, both units.
Did you feel your fourth line gave you some energy tonight?
Yeah, they did give us some energy at different times. You know, those kids just went out and played hard, and you know, that's a positive thing. I suspect you're referring to Morgan's line.
Yeah, it got better as the game went along, but it just, again, they made it very difficult for you to get to that third circle for the second and third chance opportunities.
Yeah, well, the first thing you got to do is hit the net, and you can't shoot it at the goalie's hands, right? You need to shoot it at his pads or right along the ice. You know, if you guys were paying attention, you saw that every time we shot the puck low, he spit out a nice rebound. It's not like we weren't aware of that. You know, that's what you have video for. You know, believe it or not, we actually show some of that stuff before the game, if you can imagine.
Coach, can you talk about the penalty kill and Matt Morris, especially in that 5-on?
Matt Morris was huge. You know, he played. I thought Matt played a great game. He had a tough bounce. You know, right after it went in, I called him over the bench because that sort of stuff can happen to any goalie. It happens to every goalie. And I just wanted to make sure. I winked at him and smiled and said, "Don't worry about it," and get back in the net. And after that, I thought Matty played great. You know, don't tell him I said so.